logo now. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Hello and welcome to the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes channel and also on the Slam Jam channel on YouTube. So if you're on the internet, which I assume you are if you're watching this, make sure you go over to either the Extreme Improv YouTube channel or go over to youtube.com/@Slam Jam Wrestling Show and smash that subscribe button. On the show tonight, we have Gav. Say hello to the people.
How's everyone? Well, it's just me and you, really, but
it's just us. It's like the dream team. Now,
there you go.
We need at some point to finally get the band back together.
Yes,
but
we do.
I've almost been like on a tour of like the greatest hits. Like I've got you here today, Gav. Last week I had Dave Green. Like a week before that I had Corey. We need to like this is trying to get. Yeah, exactly. It's trying to get the four horsemen all in the same room at the same time nowadays. It's just like It's not easy. Yeah.
I've been down with a cold for the last 10 weeks, so that's my fault. So
geez, you're doing better now?
I'm a lot better now. Yeah. I tried to make it last week, but I was just
absolutely. Yeah.
Put everyone off.
Well, we had Dave Green on last week, so well dodged. No, I'm joking, Dave. If you're watching, peace. But no, peace. I can't remember. Right. Anyway, so let's talk some wrestling now. Obviously, the big and shocking news this week is Jay Briscoe passed away a couple of days ago. I found out I was watching an NXT live and I checked Twitter and it came up, and then like 5 minutes later they announced it they actually announced it on NXT that Jay Briscoe was in a car accident and that he passed away. Which is terribly, terribly sad. Over the last, I can be completely honest that I've seen bits and pieces of Jay Briscoe over the years, but I've never been like the biggest Ring of Honor guy. So I haven't seen tons and tons, but especially I've seen plenty of Ring of Honor over the years, and because the Briscoes were a permanent feature, I've definitely seen their matches, but it wasn't something I followed. But obviously, this last year, they had like one of probably is going to go down as one of the most famous trilogy of matches, tag team matches with FTR.
Yeah, I'm just like you, actually, to be honest. And yeah, rest in peace to him. Love to the family, friends, and whatnot. And I hear that his daughter was actually involved in the accident as well, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard that there was like some update that his wife may have put something on social media saying about like, we still want your prayers, and that she's was going to be going into surgery or something. So I don't know like what her like condition or whatever is. That hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully her life isn't still in danger, but it may have been both like two of his children, from what I understand, but I might be wrong on that detail.
Yeah, I was going to say that's like any parent's worst nightmare. You rather yourself than your kids, but again, like it's really sad what actually happened there, and love and everything goes out to them, and just pray for the kid,
absolutely. And there's other things, like there's no two ways about it. It's just absolute tragic situation, someone passing away. A detail I then learned yesterday is that yesterday was Mark Briscoe's birthday.
That's right.
Like unbelievable. What a
and that's going to change now forever, so he's going to remember his brother all the time when it comes up now. So
and they were the current Ring of Honor tag team champions.
I
struggle to think the last time, and hopefully something like this won't ever happen again, the last time an active champion passed away.
I can't even think, really.
I can't think when it happened. I remember, like, the closest ones to it is that there was always the rumor that Eddie Guerrero was going to win a world title from Batista, just like literally on the next show before like the next pay-per-view when he passed away. Obviously, it was, I believe, the case that Benoit was going to be ECW world champion when tragedy all happened. But I can't remember an actual champion
dying. No, I can't remember that at all. No,
and like obviously this is almost like irrelevant at the moment. They'll have to address it in the fullness of time. But last night there was Dynamite. One of the news stories that I'm reading today is just because Jay Briscoe perhaps I don't even quite know what it said, but it said something controversial in the past. This was a reason why the Briscoes couldn't ever be on AEW TV.
Yeah.
They did display a graphic at the start of the show, but apparently it came from the TV network saying that they didn't want it to be a tribute show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I think is... I can't imagine what the conversation would have been if they'd said that, look, this might bring some negative publicity, or it might end up splitting the audience or something.
Wow.
In terms of, because I think it's terrible. Everyone, I think he was universally loved within the wrestling community itself. So if there are, idiots on the internet who are going to dig up the
I was
past,
going to say, this is the time for all that.
yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, no matter what, human being sadly passed away, and there's a lot of people that's hurting right now, and this is their moment to actually, you think of their kids and like the family, the wife, and it's like for them really, and you need to do that because he gave a lot of his life for the industry, and you've got to kind of respect that and pay that back to him. Whatever he said in the past, I know he's actually apologized a few times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, to be honest, I as we've said fairly frequently on this show, when there's some of these controversies, I generally don't massively care about getting into all of the controversies. I just kind of like to watch the wrestling and that. And so it feels a shame that they couldn't, because obviously Brody Lee passed away and they dedicated a show. But they did do a show, but it wasn't Dynamite last night. They filmed a hour special or something after Dynamite, which will, be on the Ring of Honor YouTube or Honor Club or something like this. I don't know when. I should imagine sooner rather than later. I don't think they should leave it that long. And I won't say like the spoilers from it, but I think they had as much Ring of Honor representation as they could pull together within like a day's notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. At least there's something for him as well there. And again,
and
it's mostly for the family and like obviously the fans as well. But you've just got to remember, like at the end of the day, he is a human being at the end of the day, and the family, and this is just work for them. So
no, I
think
completely
about
agree.
The emotion with that, so
like really sad. Joe, on a personal note, and this is something I've like put on social media a couple of weeks ago. Right at the beginning of the year, I had a car accident, and it's something that really just makes you think about like how these things can happen, and how lots of people have been saying about like how precious life is, and like hug your loved ones and all this kind of stuff. So to hear that this happened definitely gave me like a extra moment to pause and think about things. But but I'll tell you what, I was watching NXT live when all this happened, and I switched it off after that, because in the middle of the night I was just like, and I kind of didn't want wrestling on my mind for like in that moment, because I just wanted to take my mind off of it. But have you seen any wrestling this week or the last couple of weeks? 10 weeks.
I have.
It's like everything's changed, Gav. McMahon's back. WWE's being sold to everyone. I
was just about to say, like the whole news. I missed it all, obviously, because I was just like, but McMahon coming back, and I was like thinking, when are we going to get over that news? And it's taken this, unfortunately, to do it. That's the only thing. That's the bad thing.
Well, I'm sure there's still going to be stuff going. Like, it's not over with whatever the deal is with the sale. That's still going to keep going on, and until it's bought or sold or whatever the situation there is.
I was just there thinking, like, I don't know why this come in my head. What if Snoop Dogg buys WWE?
Wait, is that even a possibility?
I don't know. It could
I haven't heard that one. That would be amazing.
Because his connection with WWE and whatnot, and then the boss might come back. I don't know. Wishful thinking.
Oh my god, he buys it, and he's like, "Well, I don't know about wrestling, but I have a cousin who does." Introducing the boss. Yeah,
there you go.
Wow. Okay, there's random scenario here. If Snoop Dogg somehow bought WWE, and obviously Sasha would come back, would she be Sasha or would she be Mercedes Moné?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably, combine the whole name together. I don't know.
Mercedes. That's quite good, actually.
Mercedes, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Mercedes.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, wow. I don't know, but like there was the big story like a week ago was that the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia had bought it, and it was a done deal.
That's right.
And then it turned out that wasn't true. But apparently there were talent meetings where Triple H was saying, I don't think that's happened. But from the sounds of it, it's like Triple H didn't even know for certain himself that's
yeah.
Which
and
is
apparently he was saying that he wasn't opposed to the sell either. So
yeah, I've heard like various things because if it gets sold, he's probably going to get a lot of money.
Yeah,
because I don't know how it works with who is the like who owns stock or what percentage of WWE Triple H owns, if any. Like certainly, I imagine Stephanie owns something.
Stephanie must.
Yeah.
Would Shane actually own anything? I'm not
Maybe.
too sure.
Like who knows?
Yeah.
Like
let's just hope and pray he doesn't make it in the Royal Rumble this year.
Who, Shane?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Like imagine but if I was Tony Khan and it was like I'm gonna buy WWE, which is again has been floated as an idea. Yeah. And I think even though I think it would have a negatives, potentially big negative things if Tony Khan bought it, because in one sense we'd be back to square one. For 20 years there was just WWE and not competition.
That's right.
Now then it would just be there's no WWE and it's just AEW owns WWE. So we wouldn't be any further along. But if Tony Khan does buy it, I would be get me Shane McMahon's number. I want to announce that I'm buying it, but suddenly on the Tron, it's just Shane. I would literally do that.
Could have Nick being like the Khan playing. It does say Khan.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my god. Yeah. This is amazing. Yeah. I'll try. I don't think Nick Khan would play along though.
No.
Well, unless he was given like some huge contract,
huge amount of money.
Yeah. We were speaking, me and Dave last week about if Tony Khan bought AEW, if Tony Khan bought WWE, would he just change AEW into WWE?
I'm not too sure.
It sounds crazy, but it's like, imagine if you were, I'm trying to think, if you were like Greg's, and you bought McDonald's, would you start rebranding McDonald's as Greg's, or you'd be like, well, to be honest, we're just going to use the McDonald's name?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Because WWE's established themselves and they've got that whole set. Like the thing is, would he actually do a McMahonism and just bury WWE when he buys it, and then puts the AEW over? And then
I don't think so. Just because Tony Khan seems to love getting WWE guys.
Well, that's true, and he is a big mark as well. So
yeah, exactly. I think he'd take care of. I don't think he'd necessarily do the best job. I don't think he'd necessarily do a bad job.
Yeah,
it's weird. For the first 2 years of AEW, everyone was like, AEW's the real deal. WWE's, and then Triple H suddenly got it, just as Tony Khan started losing his way.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Oh, Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing. He's buckling under the pressure." And Triple H is the savior and all that. And then now we're 5 months into Triple H, and the whole Bray Wyatt thing's going on, and it's going nowhere. And people are like, "Oh, it's all wavering again." So
I was there thinking as well, this out of the whole Triple H rehire, his gauntlet, the Infinity Stones, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Out of all of his Infinity Stones that he's brought back, who's been the most successful one?
It's got to be Bray, but Bray hasn't had a match yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. He
came out as the big deal on a pay-per-view. People were buying. I don't think anyone has paid to see Braun Strowman again.
No.
Did you see SmackDown last week?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Braun Strowman versus Gunther, Volta, and Gunther beat him clean.
Do you know what? Well, I don't know if you know what's happening for Gunther.
No,
he needs that build, and the reason why is speculated that he's going to be going up against Brock.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's why you're going to have to build Gunther up to that degree.
That makes a lot of sense. The one detail which I was shocked with it though is before the match on SmackDown, they showed Braun, and they were like, "Oh, check out his sneakers that he's wearing. They're like specially custom sneakers in memory of some child that passed away."
Oh,
and they were like, "So he's wearing that. It's got his name on it or something like this. It's a dedication." And then he got beaten clean. I was like, "Why did you have it on this?"
Yeah, I missed that part. So wow, yeah, they shouldn't have done that then.
Yeah, I just thought that wasn't quite
Could have
like
made
what
it
they should have done. But I think that makes a lot of sense. If they're going to have Gunther and Brock, then I think that's the way to go. Like build him up, have him defeat everyone.
And to be honest, like he's been on a little bit of a roll now. I think it's since Crown Jewel with Sheamus.
Yeah,
his stock has just rised. You know.
Yeah. Well, even when was Crown Jewel? Or like before that, I think Clash at the Castle.
Yeah. Sorry. Crown
Did
Jewel.
you mean Clash?
Clash at the Castle. Sorry.
Yeah. So like that match, obviously that had a lot of hype around. Oh, back in the UK, Intercontinental Championship match after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And that was like a huge win. Huge win. So maybe they will have Brock versus Gunther. I think Gunther's got to win though.
I think so as well.
Because otherwise, Brock, it will just feel like Gunther beating Brock. Like, okay, so if Undertaker had beaten Brock, it'd be like, well, yeah, Undertaker had the streak.
Yeah.
This year he beat Giant Gonzalez. This year he beat Mark Henry. This year he beat Randy Orton. This year he beat Triple H. This year he beat Brock. And it would just be another one. But Brock beating him makes it probably the most memorable Undertaker Mania match of all.
Yeah, exactly.
Gunther beating Brock will mean something. Whereas, or actually, the best example with the Undertaker is: do you remember the year when the Undertaker at WrestleMania was meant to be tagging, I think, with Nathan Jones?
That's right. Yeah.
And then they just wrote Nathan Jones out like last minute, and so then it was a handicap match. Was it the Big Show and who was
and A-Train?
Big Show and A-Train. Like, imagine how gutted you are if you're the Big Show that you were in a handicap match and you still lose against the Undertaker.
I was saying I was feeling gutted for Nathan Jones as well. Like,
absolutely.
You had all that build and then you're not even used at the end of it. So
this happens a few times. Like, there's been a few times where, and maybe it's because of injury, but you'll see someone like getting ready in the back and suddenly they get attacked.
Yeah,
and I can't remember who it was now. It was in like the mid-noughties, I think, where someone was like an elimination chamber match or something, and they didn't get to defend their title. For the life of me, I can't think who it was.
Was it?
I don't think. No, I thought it was unless it can't have been an elimination chamber match then.
I know that someone done it in the elimination chamber. Dave Green, we need you.
Yeah, Dave Green, where art thou? No, but,
I can't remember who it was now.
No, I can't remember. But I think they've done that kind of thing a couple of times.
And at the Royal Rumble, they've done it even with the women because who was it? Rusev's wife. What's her name?
Oh, Lana.
What's her name?
Lana.
Yeah, she got attacked, didn't she?
Yeah,
and taken out.
Oh my god!
So they've done it at Rumbles.
Okay, who was it that like a woman entered the men's Rumble and beat up R-Truth to enter it?
Who was that? Not Rhea. Has Rhea been in a men's Rumble?
Was it Rhea? It could have been. It worked with her.
There's only been 3 women. There's Chyna. There's
Beth Phoenix.
Beth. That's it. Beth.
Oh my god! Was it Rhea Ripley?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Someone. I'm sure they beat up R-Truth, and then entered the Rumble. And there was like a story like weeks later where they gave R-Truth
Nia Jax.
Oh my god! Yes, up. Was it beating up R-Truth? Am I just
That's right? Yeah.
Unbelievable. And it's just like, I think they had to apologize somewhat for burying R-Truth like that. You know, that is such a burial life. But...
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we got that's a really good point. Okay, so bringing it back to the really good question you raised. So who else has Dexter Lumis? Who else has been brought back by Triple H? Is it Infinity? Johnny Gargano. Sorry, who was that?
Damage Control. Oh, Johnny Gargano. He needs a complete reset. And probably that's why he's away. I don't know. He just needs a complete reset because I used to like Johnny in NXT. And then it irritated me so much on Raw. Just, I don't know, it was just that little, just like, shut up.
Yeah, it hasn't landed well as of yet. But yeah, of the who else? There was basically all these people brought back. That's probably most of them.
Let's see, Damage Control there.
Oh my god, who's the like Bronson Reed just came back, didn't he?
Yeah.
And by the time we got to Bronson Reed, everyone's like, he's scraping the barrel. He just wants a surprise every week.
Yeah, exactly. He's going for the Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every week there's going to be a surprise.
I can't think of anyone that's actually Bray. Oh, obviously Bo Dallas.
Yeah, Uncle Howdy.
Howdy.
Yeah, I never checked. I've not checked this yet. And again, I might have either said it last week on the show or just in between. But I'm sure when Bray came back, like when he first came back, didn't he have a different mask on, which was the Uncle Howdy mask?
I thought it was, but
is it not?
I thought it was, but
I'm going to see if I can find this somehow.
I've been told it's different because it had that little. I can't explain it. The smile with the cheekbones and everything on that one. But.
Okay, well, look. So I'm gonna be honest. I've got a slight ulterior motive here, Gav.
Right. Okay.
Is that with this different streaming setup, it means that I can easily like screen share. So if I do find it, I will bring it up, but it may take me a minute to find it.
No worries.
But yeah, so what else? So who do you? I asked this to Dave Green last week. So
yeah.
The amount of times Dave Green's name has been mentioned on the show today, but he was on the show.
So,
I may have about it with Corey. I'm not sure. But who do you think will own the WWE in 1 year's time?
Will there be a WWE in 1 year's time?
Oh, it can't. Okay, so it may not be a WWE in the same sense that there isn't a WCW, but someone like Vince owns WCW, but someone has to own it. He can't just be like releasing it into the wild. No one owns it.
I'll tell you what, if I win the lotto on Friday tomorrow, I might even buy it.
But do you know what the amazing thing about that, Gav, is if you were saying that, like if you won the lottery and you were like, and I would buy WCW for the price it sold, you actually could afford it.
Yeah.
It's insane to think like 20 years ago, like it was like $2.5 million for all of WCW.
And like WWE must be worth probably about $5 billion right now, maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe.
Okay, hang on, Gav. Let's see if I can do this. I've got my screen sharing wizardry going. This is probably going to get me in trouble as well, just for screen sharing. So share screen. Let's do this. Can I find it? Window. This looks like it.
Yeah, you don't want to do a TJ.
Well, exactly. So hang on. Let's minimize it actually. Can I minimize it?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So let's play it here. Hopefully it's small enough on the screen. So they had all of this where the different versions of Bray Wyatt were emerging, all his puppets and that. And there was a Fiend, and everyone saw that and thought it was him.
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't. And so I forgot how long this goes on for. Then there was like a magic door, which I've never quite understood, but it's cool.
That is actually a homage to Brody. When he
oh my gosh,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll find Uncle Howdy. So there we see that. And just because I've got to be so careful with this screen share stuff, just in case anything dodgy comes up. Yeah. Let's bring up Uncle Howdy.
Right.
Uncle Howdy. Images. Do you know what, actually? It looks like there's been various versions of this mask.
That's what I was going to say. It looks a bit different.
Because if you see like this one here,
that's it.
That looks like it's got like the whole face.
Yeah.
Like the goatee looks like part of the mask. But then what they've got here, it's like cut off at like the bottom jaw.
So
that's
I'm
weird.
Not too sure if there's different versions that he's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're right. And then this one has got the bottom jaw, and then this one. Right. Maybe they adapted it so that you could wrestle in it.
Oh, true, actually.
You know, maybe Bo just didn't. You know, he's like, I'm going to be gassed out if I'm trying to wear this mask.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm not paying. I can't do this. You know, I haven't wrestled in 3 years.
Exactly.
He was in the B squad or what B team or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Oh my god,
completely
like
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird though with someone like Bo Dallas. Do you know the movie Sliding Doors?
Do you know what? I think I've seen it before, but I can't remember
Okay,
it.
I don't like this film, but I love
Right.
the concept of it. Is
Yeah.
that I think it's a woman. She goes to get on a train, and the doors slide shut, and she doesn't
Yeah.
make it. And so now she's like, the train goes without her, and then
Right.
suddenly the scene restarts, and she goes, and she just manages to get on the train. And throughout the rest of the film, it shows like if she'd got on the train, her life would have turned out like this. She didn't get
Yeah.
on the train, her life turned out like that. And I think like someone like Bo Dallas, he looks at himself and he
Yeah.
looks at his brother Bray, and he's like, Bray is the one that got onto the train and went off to the promised land. I ended up left in the B team.
Yeah,
And
it's
watched
true.
Bo leave. I mean,
It's
like,
so
I'm
true.
sure, like, again, like, it's so many years ago, but like, Bo was like, wasn't he NXT champion at one point?
Yeah, he was.
He was a
Yeah.
big deal in NXT.
And he was doing really well. He was
Yeah.
really doing well in NXT.
So this actually may be Triple H like saying like, Bo, I still believe in you. You know, I'm going to put right what once went wrong. He's like, I made you a champion, and then
It just
and
reminded me
then,
of Roman Reigns. That was his little thing at the end as well. Believe
Yeah.
that, or something as well. But
Yeah.
believe that. But yeah.
But it's like his name was Bo Dallas, and you can almost work out that Vince McMahon saw like, who have you got? You know, Paul, and then he's like, well, we got this kid, and he's Bo Dallas. Bo, what kind of name is that? I don't believe it. Such good shit. And the rest of it is just based around that one word.
Exactly.
If his name had been Jack, he wouldn't have had that gimmick.
No.
I've got to
exactly.
Jack leave. It just doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is going to be a good little run for Bo doing this Uncle Howdy kind of gimmick. So I hope so.
But where does it go? Because unless he's going to actually see, he's attacked Bray.
Yeah.
But he could. Bray Wyatt's stuff never really makes that much sense to me. So he could join up and be his tag team partner. But usually when there's like an underfaker or the May 19th Kane, when they just have like the fake, like mysterious person, that hasn't really worked out for a long time.
No, it hasn't. No. So we're gonna have to watch and see. Like again with Alexa now. How does that pan into everything as well?
I don't know why. Like she'd almost escaped this.
Yeah,
like,
and I was just thinking.
Go ahead.
I'm not really enjoying it so much. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to. I'm probably jumping the gun. I need to sit down and wait and let it pan out. But does she then win the title from Bianca?
I hope not.
I'm hoping not.
I hope not. Like
I'm hoping to see Bianca versus Rhea at Mania.
That could work.
I'm hoping to see that. But
I think that's a good bet for what if they're going to go down the route, which they haven't always done, but in like recent years, where like night one or just one of the nights of WrestleMania, a women's match main events it. Because like last year they didn't actually, because it was Steve Austin.
That's right,
main evented.
Yeah,
but if they want a women's world championship match to main event it, Rhea versus Bianca, I think
that's a big match.
Is their best bet.
Yeah,
but then where does Charlotte fit in?
Charlotte versus.
I don't know,
because then you got Ronda. If she's still around.
Ronda. No, like I think it's so weird that they would take the belt off of Ronda this close to Mania.
Yeah, exactly.
The only logic I can put to it is if they want Ronda to win it at Mania, but that's what they did last year. Oh no, Ronda didn't win it at Mania, did she?
No, she didn't. No.
Okay, so maybe they have
Charlotte. And then,
yeah. She won the Rumble, but then did she not win the belt?
That's right. She didn't win it at Mania. She won it at the next event, I think.
Yeah, that comes back to me as well. So maybe Ronda's like, look, I want to win the championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, would that work? Because the fans aren't behind her, and this run of Ronda, I do like Ronda. I've got to admit, but it's been lacking.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know what it is. something's not there. I don't know.
It's because she should be a face, and
Yeah.
the fans started to turn on her because they turned on her for two reasons. One, she was destroying everyone.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, she's Ronda Rousey. She probably would.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the situation happened where they wanted Becky.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
they had no choice because it was going to be Charlotte and Ronda, and they then gave Becky the Rumble win because they demanded it.
Yeah, because then like that's the other thing.
Did like, Becky win the Rumble?
Becky won the Rumble, like
but there was something happened where she then wasn't going to be in the main event, and then they really had to backtrack on it.
Because that's when they brought in Charlotte, didn't they?
Yeah.
Instead of make it a three-way.
Yeah.
And no one wanted Charlotte. Let's be honest.
No one wanted Charlotte.
Yeah, it was only Vince.
I don't know what the situation was. Obviously, like Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair, there's probably if like a woman's going to main event WrestleMania, they probably thought we have to have Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But suddenly it was like, well, the champion is Ronda, the fans want Becky.
Yeah.
They were like, well, we'll let. They've tried to do this before, where they were like, we're going to let Becky win, but then we'll not have a. At Mania, not going to have. Well, we're going to let Rey Mysterio win the Rumble, but then they tried to not have him at Mania. And what was it? There was like a third one where it was similar to this. Oh no, it was Daniel Bryan, where it's like everyone wanted him to win the Rumble, and they're like, we're not going to do that. And in the end, they had to backtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kofi. There's so many times where the main they don't listen to what the fans want.
No, exactly.
They don't, like, and in the end, they're like, yeah,
it's the fans that push those ones big time.
Yeah,
so they had to change it all up, like with Daniel and Kofi. Yeah, it was the fans that drove that one. But I was there thinking, like Becky this year, who does she face at Mania? Like, what's the matchup?
I don't know. Which brand is she on?
She's on Raw now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then maybe it'll be her for the women's championship.
But then you've got what, her versus Alexa, if Alexa wins, or
Bianca? I don't think Alexa's going to win.
I don't know. Like I was there thinking maybe I'm saying the Fiend, Uncle Howdy or Bray does something and then she wins. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want her to win. I'll be honest.
No.
But I can see it happening.
Yeah. Could be. So, in terms of who do you think is going to win the Rumble? We're a couple of weeks away from the Rumble.
Oh, John Cena. John.
Could be.
Not a cap. Yeah. I'm not too sure. Like all the time beforehand, I was there thinking Cody.
Yeah.
Is The Rock coming back next week to be in the bloodline lineage?
This is one of the. Like in a week's time, we may have a much bigger picture of it.
Yeah.
But there are so many possibilities right now.
Big time.
Because it's like Raw 30, isn't it? Like 30 years of Raw. Yeah. And so, is The Rock going to be on there? I don't think it would see people who seem to get the idea that Steve Austin's going to have a match again, but he isn't going to get a world title match.
Yeah.
Although
I don't think
I don't think he should.
No.
But the idea of having Austin versus Roman's why does no one fantasize about that match?
That
they should.
They should.
And the build up to that would be great.
It would be brilliant. I don't know, like, okay. Because it was his first match, I think the big hype, 19 years or whatever, with KO. And I enjoyed that match, and I was just like, wow, he can still go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, he's had his time.
Yeah.
Sense. And I'm just like, I want to remember Austin up here.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want to. And again, he done really well last year.
Well,
he wasn't still stone cold to me.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It was like when Goldberg came back.
Yeah.
And again, this was their flip-flopping. In that promo where he says, I am gonna wrestle Brock, instead of saying who's you're next, he says you're last. And if he'd just come in and decimated Brock, and then like it's a shame that his match where he won the title from Kevin Owens was so bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
But the match versus Brock, if that had been it for Goldberg, they'd been like, yeah, he managed to pull out like this big upset.
Yeah.
You know, they could have done something better versus Kevin Owens, but then the match with Brock, it would be like, yeah, that was a good way of Goldberg coming back and wrapping up the career.
It. Yeah, exactly.
But then carrying on,
and
it got so bad. It was a train wreck until I think Bobby Lashley carried him to a good match at Crown Jewel or whichever.
That was really good. I wasn't expecting that at all from that match.
No, and I think there was like an interview with Goldberg at the time where he said that, you know, people are criticizing me. They want me to do an actual Goldberg match. So I did. But when you watch it, Bobby Lashley does everything for him. Everything. Everything, you know.
Very much so. Yeah. I noticed that as well. He did carry him through that.
But did Kevin Owens do everything for Austin?
I need to probably watch it back.
The things that like shocked me with it was that like Kevin Owens, like they did like vertical suplexes on each other outside the ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is Austin taking that bump?
Exactly.
All the bumps to take.
Yeah.
You know, and then so he did take bumps. It wasn't that he took no bumps.
He did. Yeah, he took a couple bumps. Not good ones. He didn't do what he normally used to do. But again, he didn't need to because
I don't even think he did a Luthez press.
No, he didn't.
And maybe his knees won't allow it. But to me, it's like that. You just jump up. You just land on them. You just land on Kevin
I was going to
Owens.
say, like, when you're not doing it for so long, your body's not used to it. And
no, absolutely. Yeah. So, okay. So, you go on.
I've said this in the chat. No one's actually mentioned this guy's name at all because everyone thinks he's still out. What if we have RKO?
Orton.
Yeah.
You know what? If that's a really interesting possibility. If he was to return in the Rumble, I'd see it as similar to when Edge returned a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think he could be in it and he could be in it for like half an hour. I don't think he should be the winner because...
Would he win it? I don't think he should win
it. I don't think he should win it. I'd like to see him return though.
Yeah.
You know.
If he wins that, that's like 3 for him, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's crazy to think that
he'll be on the same level as Austin. Yeah.
Wow. So The Rock is the one 3 years in a row people have said, well, next year it's going to be Roman and Rock.
Yeah.
In one sense, I would love it to happen this year. In another sense, I think they should hold off and do it at WrestleMania 40. Because
where's WrestleMania 40 going to be held?
Oh, I literally don't know. Maybe they haven't announced it yet. That's a good point, though. They're in Hollywood, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's
okay. So that's why it makes sense for Rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, WrestleMania 40. What bigger match can you do? Because like WrestleMania, when you think like WrestleMania 30 was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
In the main event, and that felt suitably big.
Yeah, that's
WrestleMania 20. What was that?
That was Brock and it wasn't them at the end, but
what was WrestleMania 20? Was that Benoit?
It was.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Eddie and Benoit, the triple threat.
Yeah.
With,
and what was WrestleMania?
Benoit in his
and what was WrestleMania 10?
10 was Brett winning the title
from
Yoko.
Yeah. Okay, so it's been like some. Actually, I was going to say, like in my head, it should be like WrestleMania should be like Rock Austin sort of level things, but these are all like technical guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Brett, Benoit, Daniel Bryan, they're all like mat wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's weird.
So that means this year or next year, sorry, who's it going to be? Who's the technical guy in WWE right now?
I don't know. Like, who is the technical wrestler? Sorry?
Who is the technical guy in WWE?
I don't know. Now? Like, they all went to AEW.
Chad Gable. There you go.
Chad Gable. Gav, shush, please.
Thank you. And that guy, he's so talented.
Yeah,
he needs to stop being squashed every week now, please, Triple H. Like, come on.
Like the weird thing is, if he went to AEW, they'd probably treat him more seriously. But I don't know if he'd ever get off the stank of Shush Please and Shorty G and stuff like this. I think if he's going to be rehabilitated anywhere, it has to be in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually enjoy him. I actually enjoy him and Otis. And their little stint. But like, I don't want him to lose all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like the closest thing to the next Kurt Angle kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Except for that guy. Who was that guy who was like the Olympic wrestler who is never did anything?
Oh, what's his name? What's his name?
It's like Gable Stevenson.
Gable Stevenson.
Yeah, it's like Gable as well, wasn't it?
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. So we'll try to figure out next year's WrestleMania at some point.
What about Sammy Uso?
Yeah, Us, honorary Us. In one sense, it should be Sammy.
It should be.
When you consider it could be The Rock or it could be Sami Zayn. It's like, Sami Zayn doesn't really. It's like feels like it doesn't quite hit the same level.
Doesn't way up, does it?
Cody, no. I think, has that more that presence, but they're now going to be in a situation where if Cody comes back and Sami Zayn is in the Royal Rumble, they're going to turn on Cody.
It's going to be like that now. That's the thing, because that's this program with Sammy has been the best. I think that's probably the best program in the last. Was it been
year? 2 years?
Yeah. And so, I think a lot of people is actually invested in that. So,
the whole dynamic. I think we were speaking about this a couple of months ago, but like the whole dynamic with the bloodline, where they like whether they liked Sammy or didn't like Sammy, and how if they get on, and then there's just like Solo, and he's just like like this, and the Usos have got like different reactions. That was so good. And then like even this week on like SmackDown, I'm trying to think what it was. It was just so funny when Sammy and Heyman meet each other. Sammy's like, "Oh, wise man." He's like Shmooly, which is just like some weird nickname thing, which just sounds so funny.
So bad.
Yeah, it's so funny though.
Hey, what if we have? I doubt it now because like Vince is back. I was there thinking, what if we hear Cult of Personality? Because
well, I don't know. To be honest, Vince is back. What I was going to say is like it was Triple H that Punk really didn't get along with.
Right. Okay.
So if Vince is back,
have you noticed anything today? I've noticed something today on WWE.com.
No,
not that I really frequent it, but they've actually put something up with AJ.
AJ Lee
kissing, AJ kissing John Cena. And I was
AJ Lee kissing John Cena on WWE Today.
That was today that they've put a video up, and I was just like, "Hang on a minute, why have they done that?
Why have they done that? That makes me feel like they're doing that to upset Punk now."
No, I mean that was from the storyline from back in the day.
Yeah.
But that video just came out, and I was just like, "Hang on a minute, are we dropping teasers?"
So. Yeah, that's super weird. Let's see if I can find where they've got this. So WWE videos. I don't know if I can spot it. Oh my god, there it is. Let's bring it up. So there we go. AJ Lee kisses John Cena. That's 8 hours ago. 123,000 views.
So what's that about?
Don't know. Interestingly, that's had the most. It's got. Weirdly, like The Undertaker returns during the Rumble's got 123,000 views as well.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's got the most views of anything today.
Exactly.
Wow. Once again, let's risk getting a. Oh, look at this. It's going to show adverts. Oh, pain in the butt. I'm not giving them advertising. Right. We'll see the clip in a second. Why have they? AJ Lee kisses John Cena on Raw.
So are we planning?
It's not even a match.
Maybe AJ's coming back.
I heard a quote, maybe, because wasn't she involved in that like Women of Wrestling or what's it called? Like
it is Women of Wrestling. Yeah, WOW.
Yeah. Like why did she get involved in that? That was just so random. Like, and there we see it. AJ and Cena. I don't know if CM Punk is watching this, just don't look. There we go. This will be an interesting test just to see if I get copyright struck for this.
Oh no, yeah.
I hope not. Right, let's take that off. Wow, yeah, so this is a bit like a murder mystery, like with like the suspects of who are the prime candidates. And so we've got The Rock, we've got Sammy, Cody Rhodes is a possibility, CM Punk is a possibility. The other one, I said like 6 months ago, it's going to be Logan Paul, but I don't know if he's still injured.
Yeah.
But they're like genuinely like, this is the most, what they need to do is somehow have, and if Randy Orton comes back as well, somehow have these as like the last 6 or 7 guys. You know, the Rocks, you know, and Dave Green came up with this theory last week that there'll be like a 31st entrant, you know, but, and I said that would work, but only if like the last 2 are in the ring at the time, because otherwise it's just like, why is there a number 31?
Yeah. Or like maybe you like have it where, I don't know, it's the last 2 guys in the ring.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's a clock, and then like you have the commentators go, what's going on here? Why have they got the clock going? Kind of thing.
That would work best if it was Jericho, to be fair.
Yeah.
If there was like suddenly 10, 9.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Imagine if they actually had it so it's got like the proper sounds, but then like the change into break the walls down. That'd be amazing.
That'd be brilliant.
But apparently, like Jericho has wrangled his way, so he's now like the vice president or whatever.
He's AEW for life now.
Yeah, AEW for life, I think. You're right.
Yeah.
But so if in the ring, like there was Orton and Sami Zayn, and Orton's come back, and we're like, oh my god, is just Orton going to win it? And Logan Paul's been an entrant as well. And then the music hits, and it's The Rock, and people go crazy, like, oh my god. And then Cult of Personality hits, and we're like, who can possibly win now?
Who's going to win it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That'd be insane. Okay, who would you like to win it?
Who would I like to win? That's a good question. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure at all. Rumble is this weekend, isn't it? Or is it next week?
I think it's next weekend. I'll double check this.
Right, okay.
WWE up here.
It must be next weekend.
I think it's like the 28th or something. Let's check what date that would be.
Yeah.
So the 28th is Saturday. It's so weird to me now that pay-per-views are on Saturday.
Yeah, it is.
So WWE shows premium. Let's see when it says it is. Oh no, that's just like Survivor Series. They don't make it clear. I don't know. Right.
Oh, well. I think
it'll be on at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, WWE. Oh yeah, Saturday, January 28th.
Right, next week then.
And like, so on Raw, they made it very clear that Cody is going to be back. Cody is back in the Rumble. So he's on the poster.
Do you know what? Why have we not even mentioned Bobby? Why can't Bobby
Lashley? Yeah, well, look, they've got him hiding behind the logo there for some reason. You can't even see it. Who's that also hiding? Is that Austin Theory there? Yeah, I think that's
that's Austin Theory. Yeah,
and Brock. Yeah, Brock isn't going to win.
No.
Bobby Lashley would be. I think if Bobby Lashley won it, it would. If there were 2 world titles, then it might be like when Sheamus won it, and then he went for the less important world title.
Yeah,
I just don't think they've done enough with Bobby recently.
No, and
he's an outsider.
The Hurt Business coming back.
Oh yeah, let's hope so. Because obviously they teased that again on Raw, didn't they?
Yeah,
with MVP. Also, that whole thing where MVP, like, I wondered if Bobby was going to come out when MVP teased someone was going to go against Elias, because it was one thing I was certain that it wasn't going to be MVP.
I knew it was going to be MVP.
Elias.
I did think it was going to be Omos.
Yeah,
but I wasn't too sure. But
yeah.
But the thing is, like, if Bobby then joins them, are they going to be heel or face? That's the thing.
It depends what they do with him. Like, because MVP is probably better as the heel manager.
Yeah,
he's most effective like that.
Yeah,
Bobby is better as a face, frankly.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't know, like. Then, like, the tag team, if they go against the Usos, because have they ever properly done the Hurt Business versus the Bloodline?
Do you know what? I completely missed all that Hurt Business. I heard a lot about it, and everyone's there saying that they're brilliant, and I need to actually get back in touch with it and watch it. But I completely missed that era, to be honest. Yeah.
What it was a weird thing that came about. Like it shows how much WWE just sort of do things on the fly, because
Yeah.
again, it was 2020
Yeah.
and MVP was in the Rumble as a surprise.
Right.
Brock just chucked him out.
Okay.
And then I think MVP wrestled Mysterio on Raw. And MVP was like, yeah, that's it. My career's done. I'm so happy to have come back to WWE. He probably didn't think he was going to be asked back again. And he was like, well, I'm going to end it on a high. And that was going to be, that's the end of my career.
Right.
And I can't remember if they brought him back before the pandemic kicked off, or they might have been like, well, if we can't have an audience, we just need some good mic guys. And you're quite good. So
yeah,
we'll bring you back. And along the way, the Hurt Business. At first, though, they were going to do it as the Return of the Nation of Domination. Did you hear that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But because of the stuff happening with riots after George Floyd, I think it was a Vince idea, and I think people convinced Vince this is not the way. This is not the right. This is not. You shouldn't bring this back to capitalize on a tragedy in the real world. But they still kept them as the Hurt Business. So the unfortunate thing there is that might have been that they brought back Ron Simmons, but they like, if we put Ron Simmons here, it's the Nation basically.
Yeah.
So they just had it with MVP as like the mastermind. The mastermind, the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Then they had the tag team, and then they had Lashley as the main eventer, and it really worked. And but then they insisted on breaking them up and then putting them back together and then breaking them up again. And so,
okay.
So
I completely missed it, but
but
hopefully I'll get to witness it now.
So hopefully they'll be back, and hopefully what might be quite good is whoever they've got planned for Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's the chance that Roman will keep the title at Mania.
Yeah, exactly.
And if he does, because it's like, if he's been champion for 2 years, everyone's just thinking, oh, who's Roman going to lose it to? He might just keep it.
I think he's going to keep it myself.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't think there's anyone on his level yet. Like,
possibly.
I just can't see it myself personally. Like, and some people usually get bored of it at this stage. I'm not. I'm actually loving.
No, I agree. I'm not fed up of it at all.
No.
I think if they're going to make Cody a world champion, it's WrestleMania or bust.
Yeah.
Because he came back. There was a lot of hype. Every single match was against Seth Rollins for some reason. They were good, but for some reason, every match. Then he got injured.
Yeah.
So now, if they're going to bring him back and give him that hype again, if he doesn't win it, then by SummerSlam, it's just going to be like, well, who cares now?
I can understand that. And that's the thing. That's actually even talking into this demographic as well, because like everyone's got so much of a short attention span now.
Yeah.
Because like beforehand, I remember back in the old days when it was always the slow burn. And that's probably why I actually love this Sami Zayn storyline, because it's been so slow and it's been brilliant.
Like Gav, back in the day, they'd like the example I always give of this is Mr. Perfect was the referee for the Lex Luger match, and he was a year ago we wrestled, and it's like, what? They're bringing this story back from a year ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they stopped doing it entirely a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly that. So.
Yeah,
I'm not. But going back to your question, I don't know. I really don't know who I want to win.
Like, if they can get The Rock, it should be The Rock.
Yeah.
If not, and they want to try to hype up WrestleMania as much as possible, it probably should be Cody Rhodes if they're sensible. But if they just want most publicity, they could go with Logan Paul.
Yeah, sure.
But then, and Logan Paul keeps surprising everyone, but he doesn't kind of deserve it.
I was going to say Logan's already had his time as well with Roman.
Yeah, exactly.
Crown Jewel. So
I can see the Paul brothers, the Logan brothers, the Paul brothers versus the Usos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But other than that, like storyline wise, it does make sense for it to be Sammy. But if they do that, I think like most of like the casual audience will just be like, who is Sami Zayn? He's like this kind of goofy, comedic, scruffy-looking guy that's a bit panicky and stuff like this. Exactly. I don't know. I think that's one that a lot of people will want.
Yeah.
Other than that, like obviously Randy Orton, that was a really interesting idea that you had.
Yeah.
Bobby is another one where if someone was injured, then they could always suddenly say Bobby or Brock or Orton or even Edge. I don't know if Edge is injured, but you know, who knows?
I'm not too sure.
I'm gonna.
What do you think?
Yeah, go on.
Who do you think though?
Okay, if I had to pick someone, I'm going to stay true to what I said, and I'm going to say it's going to be Logan Paul. Because that's what I said 6 months ago, damn it.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually will. I think the obvious one that they probably will go with is Cody.
Right.
But then it could be Sammy, or it could be The Rock. I don't know. There's too many. Or it could be Punk. The interesting thing with Punk, actually, is Tony Khan, someone asked him a question or something within the last week about the AEW video game. Because it did have CM Punk on the cover, and now it doesn't.
That's right. Yeah.
And someone says, like, why isn't he on the cover anymore? And Tony Khan was like, that's a really good question, but I can't talk about it. It's like, why not? It's like, why can't you talk about who's on the cover of your own video game?
That's weird.
I think that's the fact that it's gone on this long. To me, as I've always said and maintain, it's a work. Right? At some point, you know, they'll if they're not saying, well, Punk doesn't wrestle with us anymore. Yeah. It's 6 months later, he could say it now.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just like, because imagine if Punk was back in WWE and then Tony Khan's like, oh, I can't talk about that. It's like, yes, you can. Just talk about it. It's so long ago. No one cares anymore.
It's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, I guess.
I think it's a sign, though, that Punk is going to be back in AEW.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. Like, Punk may have considered going elsewhere, but I think Tony Khan was so desperate to have Punk.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably just like, I'm not letting you go. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, I'm not letting you go
again.
Yeah, just like the hugs. You know, he loves his hugs.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's have a quick look to see if there's any late breaking news. So let's refresh a couple of pages here. Okay, so interesting news, not like a couple of interesting news. So Matt Cardona files trademark for Zack Ryder. That's interesting that he could even do that. Why would he want that back? Like, I understand, like, he might just want to capitalize on it, but why
maybe he's coming back and winning the Rumble.
Yeah, but like if he's coming back, well, there we go. Like that would be a shock. And Devon Dudley announces WWE departure. I wonder why.
Okay.
Let's have a look here. Devon Dudley. The company at WWE and I have decided to part ways. Hang on. Let's bring this up on the screen if we can. The company have decided to part ways and feel this is the best decision for all parties. It's been a pleasure and an honor to work with young talent when Bubba as well as everyone over in NXT. When Bubba? With Bubba, I think it means. Anyway, I'm just failing to read here, Gav. I look like an idiot. Right. As well as working with some of the best producers in the world. Okay, so what's that a sign of? Vince McMahon is back and suddenly NXT trainers are getting gutted. This is Scotty Too Hotty all over again.
But like I was going to say, like Devon got blocked recently from doing an event from Triple H, didn't he?
Devon what?
He got blocked from doing an event. He wanted to go and do an event somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And like, that was Triple H didn't allow him. So
yeah,
maybe
I think that was a mistake. So it was some ECW reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon agrees to settlement with former referee who accused him of assault. So that's weird.
Okay.
Wow. Has settled the case solely to avoid the cost of litigation. Wait, hang on a second. I'm not bringing it up on the screen just because it has like some details that probably shouldn't bring up on the channel. According to the Wall Street Journal, the settlement was officially completed last month. Asked for $11.75 million. Like Vince, like he needs to sell WWE at this point. The amount of settlements he's done, it's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, how about this? I think that's about it. The last thing, unless there's anything else from you, Gav.
No,
Any other things that we've missed?
I'm not too sure. AEW, Soraya, turning heel. That's about it, really. Soraya,
Yeah.
sorry.
You know what? I didn't. It's was Dynamite. I don't mind spoilers. Was Dynamite good last night? I haven't finished it.
I actually enjoyed the last few episodes of Dynamite. It's actually been all right. Yeah. So,
okay. Anything significant happen on the show? I didn't spot anything on the net.
Nothing that I can think of. Just them paying tribute to Jay again, but nothing really significant.
Yeah.
Apart from, like I say, Paige, Soraya turning heel. That's about it, really.
Yeah. Okay, so that just leaves us with the Iron Sheik. So we have here a poll, and Gav, you can place your bets on this as well. He predicts the new CEO of Twitter is, and then you can either vote for the Iron Sheik, go fact yourself, or Hulk Hogan is a jabroni. Which do you think is going to be winning this poll?
Oh yeah, number 2, without a doubt.
Really? I think it's going to be Hulk Hogan, but let's vote your way. Let's see what happens. Oh, hang on. It disappeared.
There you go.
The Iron
oh,
Sheik
no. Iron Sheik.
So close.
Very
I
close.
wouldn't have voted for Iron Sheik, but Iron Sheik is winning 35%. GFY is 33, and Hogan at 31. Wow. That's actually a win for Hogan that he's not being voted as the jabroni. On that note, Gav, where can the people find you?
You can find me here, hopefully same time next week. Hopefully. So
awesome. Yeah. And hopefully we'll be able to get the 4 horsemen back together.
Yes, all of us got to come back together. If you're listening, guys.
If you're listening, Dave Green, Corey, Assad, Siddharth, TJ, the lot. You know,
where's Andrew? I haven't seen Andrew in ages either.
Well, exactly. God knows. Anyway, I'm David Pasansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pasansky. Till next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, keep slamming, jamming. Ciao for now. And boom, I'm off the air once, but because I have to click it twice now because of this thing.
Right.
Okay. This is like bonus content. This is like the bonus after show where we can say
do
what
bloopers.
we really think. Yeah, do the bloopers. Right. The blooper is just me trying to read stuff. But with that, we're off the air.